Have you heard about sampling in your life? Have you heard about sampling? Oh, plant sampling. Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. Now, why is it called as tea sampling? Yeah, plant sampling. Why? What is the reason for that? There will be millions of samples. We are trying it out with one sample, whether it will become a tree or not, or whether it will fade off. That is the main thing behind the word sampling. Sampling means what? Sampling is nothing but a sample survey is the study of unknown population based on information collected from a representative sample, okay, drawn from that population. For example, from this entire Coimbatore Academy, okay, entire Coimbatore Academy, I'm going to ask each and every student, are you liking ArivuPro facility and all? I'll ask the question. Now, think that around 1000 students are in this academy. Will I go and ask 1000 students? No, I will take from intermediate, I'll take 10 students. Then CMA intermediate, 10 students. Then CA Foundation, 10 students. ACCA, 10 students. CS Executive, 10 students. I'll collect students from different part. I will ask them the question rather than asking the 1000 people the question. So that is the basic usage of what? Basic usage of sample survey. Read the line again. Sample survey is the study of what population? Unknown population. There will be an unknown population. We will take the represented samples from the unknown population. We will not talk about the 1000 people or lakhs of people in Chennai or lakhs of people in Bangalore or lakhs of people in different parts of the country. We will not go and ask each and every one. We will only ask what? Certain set of people. Collecting of data randomly, whether it is known as sampling, not randomly always. There are different types. Okay, there are random sampling. I'll talk about that in few minutes. Before that, living the life is sample only. Living the life is sample only. I mean, I think he's doing the word play. Living the life is symbol only. Maybe. Yes, I don't know. Yes. Now, we will take the example of a biryani. Okay. Think about the marriage. Our red boy, you remember our red boy? Yes, he doesn't have hair. Okay, we'll put small 2 hair. Then there is our pink girl. Okay. Okay. Now, both of them are getting married. Both of them are getting married. Finally, they got married. Okay, listen. Listen carefully. If you miss this, your chapter is gone because the story will narrate the entire chapter, whatever we are going to learn. Now, during the time of their marriage, okay, they didn't get the support from parents and all. They only supported themselves. Okay, sad people. Then what they did is, they decided to give biryani to all the people attending their marriage. Okay, a biryani is there. Complete big biryani. Now people, this entire biryani, they want to taste. Okay, entire biryani they want to taste. They want to check the taste of the entire biryani. Now people, 2 methods are there. Either they can eat the entire biryani and taste the biryani. Okay, that is called as what? Census. The entire population. That means in India, 140 crore people are there. From the 140 crore people, we are checking. Okay, do you like Vijay? Do you like Vijay? You will ask that question. Likewise, if you are checking with 140 crore people, it is called as what? Census or complete enumeration. But people, is that possible? Yes, Manoj. Yes, anything you want? Some biryani? Yeah, then don't talk. Now, they can't do that. But instead of that, they will take a small plate of biryani, they will take and they will taste. That process is called as what? Sampling. Okay, remember that. That process is called as what? Sampling. Now people, if there are 2 plates of biryani, how many samples are taken? 2 samples are taken. If there are 3 plates, how many samples are taken? 3 samples. 4 plates, 4 samples. 5 plates, 5 samples. Likewise, we are taking different samples. That is called as what? Sampling. Okay, we are understanding. We are trying to study the population. We are trying to study the biryani by taking small samples from the biryani. Now people, long back we studied in theoretical distribution, parameter is a character of what? Population. We studied that. What is it? Parameter. What is it? Write it down. Parameter is the character of population. Okay. Then there is another thing in sample. Statistic is the characteristic of sample. Make a note of it. Parameter, PP. Okay, remember, parameter is the characteristic of what? Population, while statistic is the character of what? Sample. Okay, remember this. Now, what do you mean by parameter? There, what we measured? We measured the number of trials, then the mean we represented, variance we found. All the things were found in what? In our theoretical distribution chapter. Here, people, parameter for population we can find mean, median, or whatever we want to find, we can find, right? Similarly, for sample also we can find what? Mean, median, variance, standard deviation, whatever you want to find, you can find that. Now come to biryani. I'll tell you. Average number of chicken leg piece in each sample. Okay. Average number of chicken leg piece in each sample. Maybe, for example, in every sample there is one chicken leg piece. That means if we collect the entire biryani, if I take plates, one plate from the entire population, I will always have average or mean of one chicken piece in all the plates of biryani. Okay, if we are talking about Kolkata biryani, there will be one potato in all the plates of one chicken biryani, or the plates, and from the entire population there will be one potato for each plate, or one chicken leg piece for all plate. Are you getting the point, people? So mean is taken. Similarly, can we find standard deviation? Yes. Sample also we can find standard deviation. Can we find variance? Yes. Can we find proportion? Proportion means what? We will take the direct ratio. Can we find that? Yes. Everything can be found. Okay. So these are the basics of sampling. Are you understanding, people? Anyone, any doubt? Tell me right now. Any doubt in biryani? Yes. Sir, after you will revise full portion? Yes, we will be doing. Next one, people. I'll take you to different types of sampling. Then we will come back to here. Okay. Before that, some important terms associated with sampling. Population or universe. People, population or what? Universe. For example, the entire biryani is what? Population or the universe. Then, population size. For example, 300 kilogram of biryani is there, means that 300 kilogram is the population size. Or, for example, 300 people are there, or 3 lakh people are there, 3 lakh is the population size. Then, people, the population is represented using a letter called as capital letter N. Make a note of it. Capital letter is used, N is used to represent what? Population size. For example, in India, how many people are there? 140 crore. If you are studying Indians, the total population size is how much? 140 crore. In Tamil Nadu, how many people are there? How many crores of people are there? Any idea? Any idea, people? In Tamil Nadu, how many are there? 8 crore, huh? Yes. If 8 crore people are there in Tamil Nadu, the total population of 8 crore is how, 8 crore is the total population size if you are studying about Tamil Nadu. Now in Coimbatore, if there are 50 lakhs people in Coimbatore, if you are studying about Coimbatore, the population size will be what? 50 lakh. Now if you are studying about male people in Coimbatore, if for example there are 20 lakh male, then 20 lakh male will be the population size we are studying. Now people, that is the first thing. Now here an example is given. 1 lakh people, N is equal to how much? 1 lakh. Total population is 1 lakh. So N is equal to 1 lakh. Now people, there are different types of population. Finite population. What do you mean by finite population? Which can be counted. Counted numbers are called as finite population. infinite population, which can be uncountable number of units. We have studied in chapter 7, right? Finite and infinite number, correct? Yes, finite means what? Which can be counted. Then uncountable ones are called as what? Infinite. For example, stars in sky. Will we sit and count? Yes, if you are bored, you can do that. Insect, flowers, mosquitoes. All these are previous year questions. Okay. Insects, flowers, mosquitoes. We will not be counting them. It will be there. We'll be like, too many flowers are there. Will we go and count? I'll give this many flowers to my girlfriend. Will you do that? No. He'll say that there are flowers. Then, electrical lamps produced continuously. Okay. If a company is producing it continuously, will we go and count? No. We will just look at that. That is an infinite number of bulbs. We will just say that. Now, based on existence. Yes. Now we are talking about girlfriends and boyfriends. Okay. Existent population means real and existing. Okay. If you are having a girlfriend or if you are having girlfriends or boyfriends, they are what? Existing, not hypothetical. They are not imagined. It is there. Really, it is there. For example, lamp produced by a company, people in a town. They are actually there, right? That type of population is called as what? Existing population. Then hypothetical or imaginary. Yeah, John Cena, correct. Hypothetical or imaginary population. You will think that. Okay. Yeah, me for photo of me and my girlfriend. Likewise, you will post, right? Hypothetical or imaginary means theoretical. There is no practical, only theoretical. Example, population of heads when a coin is tossed infinitely. What is it? Population of heads when a coin is tossed infinitely. That is hypothetical. We can't. Will we sit and count? No, we will not do that. Okay, people? Understood this? Population, different things are there. Finite is there, infinite is there, existent is there, hypothetical is there. Now, we talked about our biryani, right? Our entire biryani is there. The number of rice particles, it is infinite or finite. Will you sit and count? No, it is infinite. Okay. Now, number of chicken leg piece, that is countable. We will be like, each leg piece there is there for one plate. So, that is finite. Then existent population, which is we already studied, real and physically existing. Then hypothetical means what? The theoretical, properly theoretical it will be. Understood, everyone? Got it, Karthikeyan, Rajaram? Everyone, are you getting it? Yes. Next one, sample. Sample is what? A part of the population. What is sample? A part of population is called as what? Sample. Then sample size is represented using what? Small letter n. Make a note of it. Sample size is called as what? The small letter n. And the number of samples selected from the given population is called as what? Small letter n. Now, for example, 500 labs are there. For example, 1 lakh n, capital letter n is equal to 1 lakh. From that 1 lakh, I am choosing what? Sample size of 500. That is called as, this 500 is called as sample size. Whichever we are taking for the study purpose is called as sample size. Then people, sampling unit. Each individual unit forming part of the sample is called as what? Sampling unit. That means 1 bulb, 2 bulb, 3 bulb. Likewise, different bulbs will be there. All of them are what? Units. Okay. Yes. Sampling frame. Keyword. Okay, these all are important keywords. Very important. Make a note of it. Sampling frame. A complete and updated list of all sampling units. Okay, people. Now, we will talk about our red boy and pink girl getting married. They are getting married and the same day, they are giving biryani to 300 people. Before that, they want to taste the biryani. Okay. Now people, they can either taste it like, they can take 1 plate and taste it or 1 spoon and taste it. Different ways can be done, right? Yes. Now they think about it. First sample, they took 1 spoon and tasted. Second sample, another spoon. Third sample, another spoon. Likewise, 20 spoons of biryanis are there. Let it be there like that. this 20 spoons of biryani will contribute what? Sampling frame or a complete and updated list of all the samples. For example, I am talking about people in this class. I am telling that I am going to collect only few people. Like for example, I am telling Abhi is there, then Tamre is there, then Maha is there. 3 samples are there. I am naming them and I am keeping them there. That is called as what? Sampling frame. Then parameter. Have we studied parameter? Parameter is what? Characteristic of a population. Then statistic is what? Statistic is nothing but sampling of, character of a sample is called as statistic. Now, population mean. Okay. What is the formula for mean? Sigma x divided by n. So the same formula over here. Then population proportion. Proportion is nothing but number of units with attribute divided by population size. X divided by n. We are finding the ratio. Okay. That divided by total population. Taken sample or the taken number of units with the attribute divided by what? Total population is called as population proportion. You might have studied in chapter 1 proportion. Correct? That same thing. Then people, population variance. Do you know the formula of standard deviation? We studied, right? Same formula. Sigma x minus x bar divided by n. Here it is capital N. Okay. Not small letter n, capital N. Make a change. Why did I say not small letter n? Why capital letter n? Because we are talking about population. Population. Number of population is with what? Capital letter N. Got it? Now, statistic. What is statistic, people? The numerical measure based on sample. Now, I told you, when we talk about each sample of plates of biryani, I told you the mean of chicken piece in each plate. That was what? A statistic, mean. Similarly, I can find standard deviation. Oh, I found that along with one chicken piece of chicken leg piece, there is a small another piece also is there. Then in the second place, that small another piece is not there. That means there is a deviation, right? In that case, I can find what? Sample variance. And similarly, I can find what? Sample standard deviation. What is the formula for sample mean, people? Sigma x by small letter n. Why small letter n? Because we are talking about sample size. Then I'll explain again, Sharda. Then sample variance is how much? The same formula, sigma x minus x bar, the whole square divided by small letter n. Did we study any new formula? No. Whatever we studied till now, we are talking with respect to population and the sample. Okay, I will come back again. Parameter is what? It's a character of population. That's why what are the parameters? Mean is a parameter. We found population mean. Then we found population proportion. Proportion means what? The given unit divided by total number of population. For example, I'll take you another example. Now in the class in ArivuPro, 1000 students are there. I'm going to ask them, do you like ArivuPro? Around 900 said, I like ArivuPro. Okay, that means how much percentage? 90% said, I like ArivuPro and all the things you guys are giving. We like it. Then 100 people said, I don't like ArivuPro. I don't want to study in ArivuPro. That is also there. Now, will I go and ask this 1000 people? No. I will ask only how many? In sampling, I will ask maybe 100 people. Then in the sample, always it will be like around 90 or 91 or 89 or 85 people would have said, I like ArivuPro. There will be small variance. Okay, that means 85 to 95% liked ArivuPro. That was the given thing from the sample survey. Okay, now when we talk about population proportion, total 900 like ArivuPro. In how much? In the total population of 1000. That is called as what? Population proportion. Are you getting the point? Are you understanding what is population proportion? Total who likes ArivuPro divided by total number of people or the total population. Okay, yes. Next one, population variance. Variance means what, people? The deviation we studied in previous, 14th chapter. Variance means what? The deviation from the mean or any of the measure of central tendency. It can be standard deviation, or it can be variance. We will find it using that. Since it is standard deviation square, we can represent using what? Variance. Now, similarly, first one I found when I took the first sample is of 100 students. There I found the mean is how much? 90. Then second sample I took it of another 100. There the mean is how much? There the mean is how much? 92. Then third sample of 100 I took. There the mean is how much? 93. Is there a variance? Yes, there is a variation over there. That's called as what? Population variance, and similarly population standard deviation. Now coming to statistic. Statistic is what? It is dealing with what? Sample. The character of a sample is called as what? Statistic. Now people, statistic is a numerical measure based on sample observation. Now I took 100 sample, right? That 100 sample will have a mean, right, Sharada? That is what? Sample mean. That 100 sample will have a variance, right? Correct? That is called as sample variance. So sample standard deviation, everything will be there. Sample proportion, everything is there. I hope everyone understood the meaning of all this, and all these can be questions. When you get a question from sampling, think about our biryani. You will get all the answers. I'm pretty sure about that. One or the other way, you will be able to solve it. Next one, people. We will come to this part later, not now. Before that, I want to talk about different types of sampling. Okay? Different types of sampling we need to talk. One by one we will discuss. There are three main types of sampling. First one is probability sampling, then non-probability sampling, and the last one is mixed sampling. Make a note of it. It can be a question. Which is a type of sampling was a previous year question. Okay. Which of the following is not a type of sampling was a previous year question. First of all, in order to know that, you need to know the main types: probability, non-probability, and mixed. Make a note of it. Very, 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 very important. Now coming to the first one, that is called as probability sampling. In probability sampling, each member of the population has a fixed and pre-assigned probability of being selected. What do you mean by that? Can anyone explain that? Now, I told you about 1000 students in ArivuPro. Now, if those 1000 students, including each and every one of you, has an equal chance of getting selected, that type of sampling is called as what? Probability sampling. For example, when randomly some people ask question, when a teacher asks the question to you, you will be looking like this, so that he will not ask the question to me. Correct? Usually from first standard onwards, we are doing that. When a teacher is going to us, we will be doing like this. But people, do you have an equal probability of getting selected? Yes, maybe higher probability. Because of that, you are looking like this. Teacher will select you no matter what. Now, the thing is, if each sample has equal chance of getting selected, or each member of population has a fixed and pre-assigned probability of being selected into the sample, that is called as what? Probability sampling. People, 1000 people are there in total. Now, probability of getting or selecting one person is how much? 0.001. That probability, right? That is called as, that probability value is there, right? That's why it is called as probability sampling. Now, selection is random. Randomly we will be selecting. We will not be telling there is no nepotism and all. We will be randomly selecting. Bias is minimized. No nepotism at all. Bias is what? Minimized. Randomly we are selecting. Now think about it. Biryani is there. Okay. Now a lazy person is going to take a spoon of biryani. He will be like, from the top only I will take the sample. I will not mix and match. I will just take the top of the biryani. Is bias there? Yes. Is it random? No. It is like you are going only on the top of the biryani. Then another person is coming. Very energetic person is coming. He is mixing the biryani and taking one sample. That is what? Sample at random. Everyone has a equal probability of getting selected. Then people, examples. Simple random sampling. We will talk about it. Stratified sampling, multi-stage sampling, multi-phase, and cluster. Make a note of it. All of these are important, and previous year questions were there, and in the future there will be more questions. Okay, Yes. Simple random sampling, stratified sampling, multi-stage sampling, multi-phase sampling, cluster sampling. We will talk about all of this in few minutes. Okay. Yes. Everyone online, Harini, Kartikeyan, Naveen, Rajaram, Sharda, Sri Harini. Yes. Someone, why does everyone put marriage rings on the left hand? Because marriage is not. I put it in right hand only. Yes. என்னாச்சுடா மனசுக்கு
We watch like for Sunday. I don't know non-veg, but chili chicken, everything.
I didn't say about chili chicken. I will say about it now. Yes. Now, coming to the second part, which is non-probability sampling. What do you mean by non-probability sampling? Can you tell me with respect to probability? Each unit does not have equal chance of getting selected. Is called as what? Non-probability sampling. In non-probability sampling, no probability is attached to the selection of unit. We will not talk about probability itself in that type of sampling. I'll tell about an example, Shaktisri. Yes, the example is like this. Long back, okay, there was a forest. Forest was there, and there was a forest guard also was there. Okay, he got transferred. This person got transferred to some other forest, but our red boy is chosen to be the new guard of the current forest. Okay, he is the guard of the current forest, but red boy is still at home. He's not near the forest. He's still at home. He's on the way, but he started researching about the forest. In the last 100 years, there is a probability that I'll not talk about probability. In the last 100 years, two times tiger had attacked guards who were working there. Okay, the last 100 years, two times tiger had attacked guards who were working over there. Okay, now our red boy is like, in the last 100 years, two times attack was there. Now he is going to think about what is the probability that I will get attacked. Now you think about it. The probability will be what? Very minimal. But chances there are? Yes. But probability is what? Very minimal, but chances there. Okay, we don't know whether the tiger will hook him or not. We will not know. Yes, even red boy doesn't know. The probability is what? Not at all discussed there. Now look here. In non-probability sampling, no probability is attached to the selection. The tiger will decide, not the probability. Tiger will decide when to attack, when not to attack. That type of sampling is called as what? Non-probability sampling. Selection depends on judgment. Judgment of whom? The tiger got judgment. Then, or discretion of the sampler. What do you mean by discretion of the sampler? Sampler means the person who collects the sample. Who is the sample person who collects the sample here? Tiger itself will decide whether red boy is good enough or not. Tiger will decide. So there is no probability attached over here. Highly subjective. Subjective to whom? The sampler. Whoever is collecting the sample. Who is the sampler? Tiger is the sampler. Then statistical test cannot be applied. What do you mean by statistical test cannot be applied? We can't go for mean of getting attacked. Median. We will not think about any of the statistical part or any of the statistical values over here in non-probability sampling. Also, it is called as purposive sampling or judgment sampling. Important. Another name of non-probability sampling is called as purposive sampling or judgment sampling. It may be his that was a good one. He is telling it may be his last sample. In bracket tiger. Okay. Fine. Got it? Understood? Can we go for the last one? Mixed sampling. Okay. Mixed sampling means it can be partly based on probability and partly based on judgment. That type of sampling is called as what? Mixed sampling. Keep a note of it. Combination of probability and non-probability. Okay, yes. Now, can we go for different types of our previous one? Our probability sampling, symbol random sampling, stratified sampling, multi-stage sampling, multi-phase, cluster. Can we start one by one? Have a look at this. Symbol random sampling. When units are selected independently such that each unit has a equal chance of selection. Okay, we already told about this. That type of sampling is called as what? Symbol random sampling. Each unit has what? Equal chance of selection is symbol random sampling. Here, there are two types. Symbol random sampling with replacement and without replacement. I'll talk about that right now. Symbol random sampling. Think about our biryani. Okay. Symbol random sampling with the replacement means one person will take a spoon of sample. He will just taste it. Then he will spit it back itself. He will put that biryani back itself. That is called as what? Symbol random sampling with the replacement. Again, someone will come and taste it. That is what? Symbol random sampling with the replacement. Without replacement means what? We will taste it and we will have the biryani. That is called as what? Symbol random sampling without replacement. Look here. Selected unit is returned to the population before the next row. Then selected unit is not returned is what? Symbol random sampling without replacement. Are you getting the point? Understood the methods? Then when population is infinite or very large, both the methods give almost identical results. Okay, best method use of random number tables, conditions for suitability. Okay, make a note of it. When is it applicable? What is applicable? When is symbol random sampling applicable? Population size is not very large. Okay, if the population size is not very, sorry, when is it applicable now? When it is a small number. Whenever it is a smaller number, our symbol random sampling is applicable. If it is too big, it is not at all applicable. Sample size is not very small also. Okay, sample space should be what? Approximate with the almost similar to the population. It should be there. Then population is homogeneous. What do you mean by population is homogeneous means? For example, if you are studying about the biryani, okay, current biryani, we should mix it throughout and each biryani part or each spoon should have the same taste. That is called as what? Homogeneous. If we are studying about Coimbatore, we are studying about Coimbatore, all the people who are we are studying should be from Coimbatore. If we are studying from about Indians, then we should have all the Indians, all the representative part of Indians there, then only we can study it. Okay, that is called as symbol random sampling and merits completely free from sampler bias. Who is a sampler now? Whoever is taking the sample or checking the survey. Basis for all test of significance, simple and effective. These all points are very important. One or the other questions can be there from any of it. Okay, yes. Now the second one, stratified sampling. Second one is called as what? Stratified. Now here what happens is we will convert each samples into stratas or subgroups. Strata means what? Strata means what? Group. Okay, you can call that way, group. Stratified sampling or group sampling. Okay, we will take whenever the population is very large. Think about it. No, it is not 25 kilogram. It is like for 400 kilogram for lakhs of people. They are making biryani for that. For the in the month of Ramzan, let it be like this. They are making biryani for lakhs of people. That type of thing. That will be coming under what? The large and heterogeneous. Will all the biryanis be tasting the same way? No. Different cooks will cook it different manner. So whenever the population is large and heterogeneous, we will use what sampling? Stratified sampling. Whenever it is population is Small and homogeneous what sampling? Simple random sampling. We studied just now. Now stratified sampling. Population is divided into homogeneous subgroups or strata. Now think, from each biryani pot, you will take a spoon of biryani. From every different biryani pots are there. From different pot, you will collect one strata or one homogeneous sample you will collect. That is called as subgroup of collection. Then maximum variation between strata and minimum variation within strata. What do you mean by that? Maximum variation between strata. Okay, variation will be what? Between different samples or whatever spoons you have collected, there will be variation. While within the spoon you collected, there will be homogeneous. Okay, that is the meaning. The spoon whichever you have collected is homogeneous, but different spoons are having different tastes. Hyderabadi biryani. Then what biryani you know? Talpakati biryani. Different types of biryanis are there. Different spoons are having different tastes. But within the spoon, everything is same, right? That is the meaning. Now, sample is drawn from each stratum. Okay, from each of the given data we are collecting, right? Talpakati, then Dindikal Talpakati is one same thing. Then different biryanis we are collecting. Now, SRS is applied within the each strata. Simple random sampling is done within the each stratum. Then objective, representation of subpopulation, estimation of parameters for each stratum and overall population, reduction in variability, increase in precision. These are the things. Okay. Yes. Great, Rajaram. Thank you. Yes. Now, people. We will talk about simple random sampling without replacement and with the replacement. I'll show you with the formulas. Okay. Population size is n. You remember population size is n? Small letter n is the sample size. Okay. Now you tell me, what is the total number of samples collected for with the replacement? With the replacement, it will always be n power n. Or I can write it like this, people. For example, I am collecting 3 samples. That means from the population I am collecting 3 samples. Population is how much? 6 into 6 into 6. For example, if population is 6, it will be like 6 into 6 into 6. Or I can write it as what? Population with the replacement is what? Sample size with the replacement is what? N raised to n. Small letter n is in the power. Why small letter n is in the power? That is the number of samples. Then capital letter n is what? The total population. The number of ways of collecting samples what? With the replacement. Now, without a replacement, remember your combination. What is the way of selecting the N, C, R? Selecting R things from N things. Here R is what? Small letter n. So it will become N, C, N. Remember this. There was a previous year question. People, the population size is 30. Then sample size is N is equal to 3. Then how many ways the samples can be selected? 30. See, 3 ways it can be selected. 30 into 29 into 28 divided by 3 factorial, which is what? 6. Can be the answer. 40? So what do you mean by this 406? 406 ways we can collect samples from this 30 samples. Okay, sorry, 30 population. Are you getting the point? Yes. 0. One more 0 is there. Okay, sorry. 4060 ways we can collect the samples from the given population. That is the meaning of that. There was a question in September 2025 attempt based on that. This we will speak in some time. Now we will talk about multi-stage sampling. Okay. Multi-stage sampling means we will collect samples based on stages. Now I will talk about India. Okay, in India, I can talk about South India, Northeast, then Southwest, whatever way I want to call it, I can call it. It's completely up to us. Now you think in this way. When I want to study something about India, I will convert India into a country completely. That is the first stage, entire country is there. Then I am going to next stage, that is based on states. Different states are there. Then within states, there will be different districts. Then within district, there will be different municipalities of panchayats. Then there will be what? Wards are there, different wards are there. Then what are different households are there. Then inside households, you guys are there. Yeah, at your households, you guys are there. Likewise, we can collect sample, right? So in such cases are called as what? Multi-stage sampling. Sir, whether in question they will mention replacement or without replacement? Yes, they will mention. Okay. That is given. First stage, state, second stage, district, police station, then household, everything will be there. What is the merit of it? Very large coverage, cost effective, save computational labor, and it is flexible. Police station means, yeah, why police station? The police station in the sense, we'll talk about the whatever police station you are there, that what you say, the area under one police station you will be there, right? For example, you are in Salem, in the first state, first part of Salem, there will be a police station. That police station will covering your entire area, that police station. That way they can say. Okay, yes. Demerit is less accurate than stratified. Okay, yes. Can we take a break and come back? Yes. Then few more topics are there. Our chapter will be completed. Then we will have few questions. Not many questions. I will give more and more questions to you later down the stage when you start reading the chapter. Okay. Right now, if I give the question, you'll be like, ah, sir, I know. But later, I want you to solve it. Everyone take a break and come back by 10:30. Come back by 10:30. Yes, welcome back. Now we are going for the fourth type of random sampling, or we are going for the fourth type itself, which is the type systematic sampling. Okay, I will tell you systematic sampling with an example. Now 100 people are there in total. In total 100 people are there. Now they are coming inside the class. One by one they are coming inside the class. They are opening the door. They are getting inside the class. And I am keeping like every fourth person will be taken as a sample. That means first person will be the fourth person entering. Then second person will be the 8th person entering. Then 12th person, 16th person, 20th person, 24th person. Likewise, I am keeping every fourth person is my sample, and I will ask the question. Okay, do you like ArivuPro or not? Likewise, I will ask the question for every fourth person. Sometimes I will keep like every third person I will ask the question. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, etc. etc. I will ask the question. Sometimes I will keep it like every second person. 2, 4th person, 6th person, 8th person, etc. etc. I will keep. That type of sampling is called as what? Systematic sampling. Units are selected at regular intervals. So we are selecting the units or the sampling units at what? Regular intervals after selecting the first unit randomly. For example, I am selecting the fifth person as the first unit. Then the next sample will be what? 10th person. Next will be what? 15. Then 20, 25. Likewise, I'll choose the sample. It is partly probability sampling, the first unit. Then partly non-probability sampling, remaining unit. It is completely up to us. Okay. Then linear systematic sampling is represented using a formula. N is equal to small n into k. Small into n into k means k is the sampling interval. Just like I told you. For example, 4 is my sampling interval, means total population is equal to n into what? 4. Likewise, I'll take it. Then there is something called as circular systematic sampling. N is equal to capital N. That is what? Population size is equal to small letter n is what? Sample size into K. K is what? The interval which I am choosing the sample plus P. Do you have any idea regarding this P? Any idea regarding this P? What will be P? Yeah, what happened? Yes. What will be this P? Can anyone tell me what will be this P with your current knowledge in circular permutation, circular? We have studied that. With your current knowledge, can anyone tell me what is that P? Kya hua? Yes. Adennadu? Tell me what is that P? Okay, let it be there. Try to tell me what is this P in circular systematic sampling. If you read the book, you will get it. Probability or population. Think carefully and tell me the answer. You think about it and try to get me the answer for that. Okay. Now, coming to the merits. Merits are what? Simple and convenient, less time consuming, and it is what? Economical. What are the merits? Simple and convenient, less time consuming, and economical. Demerits are, if hidden periodicity exists, it will become highly biased sample. That means if you are keeping a period of recurring period, if something is hidden over there, it can be a biased sample. Otherwise, it will not be biased. Now, final one, purposive or judgment sampling. Purposive or judgment sampling, is it a probability or non-probability? Non-probability. Selection depends entirely on the judgment of the sampler. Who is the sampler? Whoever takes the sample is called as sampler. Based on beliefs, preferences, and discretion will come under what? Purposive or judgment sample. I'll tell you an example. There is an election happening. Okay. Now Tamil Nadu also is going to, election is going to happen. Now we will not talk about Tamil Nadu election. We will talk about one hypothetical election. Okay. Okay. NRK, me, I am contesting an election as a candidate. Okay. The party name is NRK party. Okay. I have like 5 members in my party. Not more than that. Okay. Very small party. Correct. Yes. Yeah. Introvert party. That's the thing. The thing is, what is going to happen is, the thing going to happen is, hey. The thing is going to happen is, you have heard about this people coming and asking question. Before election, this media will come and ask question. Who did you vote for? Yeah. Now think about a media channel which is very famous. They have spent money and all. They have their vehicle and all. But the reporter inside that this van, right? He's a lazy person. He don't want to travel across Tamil Nadu in order to ask the question. Okay. So they were going like this through the road. Then they saw some people. Some people were randomly standing there. Luckily, these people were, all of the members were from the NRK party. This person came out. Okay. This person came out. And came out with a mic. Okay. Mic is also there. And started asking questions. Who did you vote? Who are you planning to vote for? He doesn't know even I am conducting an election. He will ask the question because that I am that famous. Okay. I will say I will vote for NRK. Then next person also say NRK. Even he is like, hey, NRK is going to win now. Because why? He is not going to give a homogeneous sample. He randomly saw some people. He is going to ask the question. That type of sampling based on one's judgment. Okay, he decide to go there and ask question. That type of sampling is called as what, people? Purposive or judgment based sampling, entirely on judgment of the sampler. Okay. Now, what are the character? It is non-probabilistic. Then it is subjective. Varies from person to person. No hypothesis testing. What do you mean by hypothesis testing? We will not test it out. It will be. There is no imaginary testing and all. Nothing is going to happen there. These are the things, people. Make a note of it. Whatever table I have given, from the table there are multiple questions. Basis. Look here. Probability sampling. Selection is what? Random. For non-probability, it is judgment. Based on a person's judgment, they will choose. Then, Probability of probability sampling is known and fixed. We know the probability. How much is the probability is going to happen? Here it is what? Not known. Bias is minimum in probability while high in what? Non-probability. Now you will see a person will come and ask a question there. He is biased. Right away he is getting a biased answer also. Then objectivity, it is objective in probabilistic and subjective in what? Non-probabilistic. Then statistical measures or inference, possible in probability, not possible in what? Non-probability or judgment sampling. Okay. Now, stratified versus multi-stage sampling. Stratified is what? The population is heterogeneous. In multi-stage it is what? Very large. Then division is into strata. Here it is what? Into different stages like the municipality, wards, police station. Likewise, we will divide it into different states. Like that's the thing. Accuracy for stratified it is high, and comparatively multi-stage will have what? Lower accuracy. Then cost is higher for stratified, lower for what? Multi-stage. Coverage is very wide for what? Multi-stage, while it is moderate for what? Stratified. Okay. Then symbol random sampling versus systematic sampling. So here it is what? The symbol random sampling, it is purely random. Randomly we will pick. Then in systematic what happens? Regular interval we will pick. Bias is not there in symbol random, while in systematic possible. Due to what? Periodic repetition, bias is possible. Then how that bias is possible, da? Now think about this. They found, the samples itself found that if the samples are people, they found that every fourth person is getting repeated. So you will be like, I will rearrange the place and I'll stand and get the repetition. That bias is possible there. Complexity is moderate and very simple in systematic. Then possible, inference is possible in SRS, not possible in what? Calculation is not possible in systematic random sampling. Okay, systematic sampling. Now we will come to the basics. Errors in sampling survey. Listen, don't talk. We need to finish. Don't talk. Listen, don't talk. Errors in sampling survey. People, is error possible in sampling survey? Da? Yeah, error can be there. Yeah, because a large number of people are there. To them, we are asking the question. So, always error is possible. Either there will be sampling error or there can be what? Non-sampling error. There can be two types of errors. One is sampling error, while the other one is called as non-sampling error. First, we will talk about sampling error. What do you mean by sampling? People, sampling means we are collecting the data, correct? From the samples. Now, errors due to defective sampling design, okay, occurs when an improper sampling design is used. I will tell about that. Listen. Now people, I want to talk about, or I want to understand the opinion about Coimbatore people regarding biryani. Which biryani they like, I want to understand from all the people in Coimbatore. I want to understand from them. Now, the condition is what? People should be from where? They should be a citizen of what? Or they should be a they should be a voter of Coimbatore. In Coimbatore, they should be there. Now, I was randomly walking through the road. One person came and asked me which biryani you like. I said the answer, I like this biryani. Now people, is it correct? Am I a person of Coimbatore? No, I came to Coimbatore. Correct? So, is the sampling design correct here? No, they should make sure that the person is also from what? Coimbatore before taking the sample. That type of error can happen. Errors due to defective sampling design. Then, use of non-probability sampling leads to bias. We just checked that. Then, personal prejudice or bias of sampler. What do you mean by that? For example, my party, NRK party is there. We are competing for an election. Okay. Now, I gave some money to one of the news channel. They will start giving news about me only. Even though I will get 5 votes, they will say that NRK is going to win the election. They will start promoting me. Okay. That is a bias or? Yes. Now, this party, this reporter is going to ask question to people. So, he is going and asking to our first green boy. Okay, green boy who didn't get the girl, you remember? Yes, in chapter 14. Yes, so green boy is going and asking the question, okay, whom are you voting for? Green boy will say, I am not voting for this one, I am not voting for NRK, I am voting for someone else. Then, but I pay the money for this person, right? So he will mark like what? Green boy said he is going to vote for NRK. So that is a bias of the sampler. That type of sampling errors can be happening. So due to defective sampling design. Then errors due to substitution. Here also the same thing can happen. Enumerators replace the originally selected unit with another unit for convenience. Okay, one person needs to ask question to all the people in and around Coimbatore, but he is like, oh, I don't want to travel around. I will go and ask only a certain set. I'll only come to this particular place and ask question. So that type of thing can cause what? Errors due to substitution. Yes. Then errors due to faulty demarcation of unit. Now that will happen when I am going to ask every people, like I want to measure or I want to see how much is the average weight of this entire country, people's weight. Now I went and asked few people. They said in 200 pounds. They said some people said in I have 100 kilogram. Some people said it is like 20 kilogram. Some people said 35 pounds. People, we will not even consider the unit. Some samplers will ignore the unit and they will write 200 kilogram, 100 kilogram, 20 kilogram, 35 kilogram. So that issue can cause sampling error. Okay, then errors due to wrong choice of statistic. Wrong choice of statistic means what? The improper measure we will take. Instead of finding mean, they will find median. Instead of finding median, they will find mode. When percentages are involved, which average you will find? A geometric mean. If they would have found what? Arithmetic mean. That type of issues can cause what? Sampling error. Then variability in the population. High variability among population unit increases sampling error. What do you mean by that? Variability in population. I told you, different people are there in different part, and the variability is there also with the population. For example, I'll take the example of Chennai. In Chennai, people from different parts of the country are there. So when they have different variable population is there, always high chance of error can happen, right? So they are going to ask a person, who are you going to vote for? And he will say, Kya? Oh, then they will say, Kya is the party he is going to vote for. No, he didn't understand what? He didn't understand the question itself. Tamil they asked, he didn't understand. Likewise, that errors can happen, right? Whenever the population is having too much variability. Now the non-sampling errors. Okay, this is very interesting. Non-sampling errors happen because of certain reasons. Now think, I am the sampler. I am going to ask few questions to the entire population of or entire sampling units of Coimbatore. I am going to ask question. I took the first sample, second sample I took, third sample I took. By the next sample, my pen is not working. I will keep like, this person said this party, NRK. I'll keep it in mind. Then again, this person said NRK. Like I'll keep it in my memory. But what happens is, I will forget how many people said this, how many people said that. So because of lapse of memory, non-sampling error can happen. Then, preference for certain digit. Okay, my favorite number is 23. One person said 21 pounds. I was like, 23 is my favorite number. I'll only put 23. Some people said 21.9. 21.9. I am like, I will round off to 21. I don't want to round off to 22. Likewise, errors can happen, right? That is called preference for certain digit. Then, ignorance of respondents. You will ask the question, then without taking the answer, you will mark some values and you will go. That is the way of ignorance of respondents. Then, the major part, psychological factors, fear or bias. Now, we will go back to the same set of people. You will understand it better with this example. Where is that example? Okay. Look here, doc. The reporter is coming and asking a question. Okay. Now, another person is also here, who is not from NRK party. This person is coming and asking a question to this blue person, and blue person said, I am voting for some other party. Okay, then he is walking this way. Then see how many people are there. 5 people are there. 5 people will surround him and ask, hey, he said he is voting for NRK party. Take the data like you are voting for what party? NRK party, not for some other party. Because of fear, this reporter will be like, I will mark NRK party. You see, I mark for NRK party. The fear factor. It is there, right? Yeah, many places it is there. Everywhere it is there. Yes, it is there. It is a fact. It is happening throughout. Sir, I used to live in Salem, but now I shift my entire family to Coimbatore. Now also it is error. Hey. Okay, error in the sense, if you are completely from Coimbatore, then there is no error. Okay, yes. Fine. Next one. So what all things are? What all possibility? Memory lapse is one possibility. The second possibility is what? Second non-sampling error is what? Yes, digits. Yeah, we will have a preference for certain digit. Then third one is what? Ignorance of what? Respondents. Then fourth one is what? Fear. Psychological factors. All those things will have an effect. Yes, biryani lovers example. Yes, it will have an effect. If you are completely located in Coimbatore for a long time, there is no effect. Okay. You are the person. If you are a voter from Coimbatore, there is no choice. Next one, people. Non-responses by interviews. I am asking a question to a person. The person is like, I don't want to respond. He will shut up and go. That means, will I get an answer? No. There is high chance of non-sampling errors. Then wrong measurement of unit. We already discussed that. Instead of kilogram, they will put gram. Instead of, okay, kilogram is the 21 kilogram they said. But he is taking like a 21 gram. When one person said 21 pound, he is taking like 21 kilogram. No, wrong units. Then communication gap between interviewer and interview. You are asking in Tamil, the other person doesn't understand Tamil. You are like, he vote for kya. Likewise. Then incomplete coverage. They will not go for entire population or entire sampling unit. They will go for whatever is required for them. Then carelessness and inefficiency of enumerators. That's very high. Whenever they go, they will be like very careless. Okay, I'll take this much. I only want this much. The attitude of the people will be creating problem. So what is the meaning of bias? Bias means what? Bias means what? Bias means we will alter the data. Okay, we want to alter the data in the way we want to. Okay, how I will change. For example, unbiased coin is what? Coin which is not a, it is a real coin, a proper coin. What is a biased coin? I will be like just turning the coin a little bit, then I will toss. All the time, whatever I toss, it will become tail. That is biased coin. We are keeping in the favor of that toss. Okay, yes. Now, these are given here. You can have a look of this. Everything is given in a table and you can have an, properly it is given everywhere. Now, the next topic, people, I want to take you to sampling distribution and standard error. One of the most repeated topic or question from this chapter. Standard error. Okay. Make a note of it one by one. Standard error is nothing but standard deviation of the sampling distribution. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Very, very important. Standard error is directly proportional to standard deviation, or standard error, they represent what? Standard deviation of the sampling distribution. Then it measures the precision of estimation. Okay, precision means what? How accurate is the, or the accuracy of the estimation it will show. Standard error show the accuracy of whatever we have estimated. Then look here, people. Standard error is inversely proportional to root of sample size, previous year question. Standard error is what? Inversely proportional to what? The sample size ka root. Sample size is what? Represented with small letter and So standard error is inversely proportional to root of small letter n, or I can say that standard error is equal to standard deviation divided by root n with respect to with replacement. With replacement it is what? Sigma divided by root n. Previous year question. Very, very important. Okay. Then second one, without replacement, the formula looks like this. Standard error of x bar is equal to sigma by root n will be there, but there is a correcting factor, that is nothing but n minus n divided by n minus 1. Make a note of this formula also. They can directly ask you the formula. For problems will only usually come from the previous formula, but formula based question can be there from the second one without replacement. Make a note of it. Standard error is equal to sigma by root of small n. That is same for both the cases. But without replacement, what is coming into the picture? Root of population size minus sample size divided by population size minus 1. Make a note of that. Very, very important. Okay. Then standard error of proportion. There is another similar formula. SE is equal to what? Root of PQ divided by small letter n, where Q is what? P is what? Population proportion. Q is what? 1 minus P. Yes, we have studied that previously. Yes. Now, without replacement, that correcting factor will come into the picture. Root of n minus n divided by capital letter n minus 1. Okay. This one is called as what? This is called as finite population correction factor. Root of n minus n divided by capital N minus 1 is called as what? Finite population correcting factor. Okay. Sometimes they can ask a question. So people, these are the things. Now we have 2 final topics from this chapter. Then the chapter is completed. See this, how theoretical the chapter is. Think about if I didn't put the example of biryani and all, you will be sleeping here. With the pillow, you will be sleeping. Yes. Huh? Yeah. Completely up to you. Yes. Okay. What is that? Yes. Luck is not in your hands, but decision is in your hand. Your decision can make luck, can't make your decision. So always trust yourself. Okay. Yes. He told something. Okay. Then Naveen asked, இப்படிடா நீ மட்டும் இப்படியெல்லாம் think பண்ணுற. Okay. The final topic. Genius thing like that. Yes. Inga parungo, the last topic, basic principles. Okay, in our book and all, the order is what they gave in a different order. I taught you in a completely different order. Follow the order which I taught. It will be easy for you to remember. Basic principles of sample survey. Some of the basic principles. All of the basic principles can be a question. First one, law of statistical regularity. Okay, law of what? Statistical regularity. It means if a fairly large sample is drawn from a population, that means what? If our biryani pot is there, from the biryani pot we are taking a fairly large sample. Instead of a spoon, we are taking it in a plate. Okay, we are taking a fairly large sample from the population. The sample will on average possess the character of the population. Means if I take a plate full of biryani and I taste it, that taste will almost be similar with respect to the entire biryani. That is the meaning of law of statistical regularity. Understood the point? Very important. They will ask direct question. Okay, it is fairly a large sample is drawn from a population. The sample will on average possess the characteristics of the population. Okay, so entire biryani is there. What I did, I took a plate full of biryani and I tasted the biryani from the plate. So almost the taste will be similar as what? the entire population, that means the entire full 25 or 30 kilogram of biryani, the taste will always be similar. That is the meaning, Sharda. Understood? Now, for example, 1 lakh CA Foundation students are writing the examination. I took like 1000 students. Okay. Then I took the average, or I found how many are passing the examination. I checked. Then I found that 25% are passing. Then for more study part, I took 10,000 students as sample and I checked. Then it is like around 20% are passing. Then I took around 50,000 students and checked. I got it like 19% are passing. So when the sample is little more big, I am getting an accurate answer for the sample survey with respect to the complete enumeration. Complete enumeration means what? We are asking that 1 lakh student, entire population I am asking the, yes, entire population I am asking the question. Now, what are the key points? Sample size should be moderately large. Okay, key points, make a note of it. So what are the key points in our law of statistical regularity? The sample size should be moderately large. Larger the sample, better representation. Reliability of the statistics improve with increase in sample size. If I increase the sample size, the whatever measurement I am going to take, it will be almost similar. Then sample must be drawn randomly. So I should randomly select the sample. Every unit in the population should have pre-assigned probability. That means it should be basically simple random sampling. Then sample size is often compromised based on cost, time and efficiency. Final second one, principle of inertia, law of large numbers. It is derived from the previous one. Previous one was what? Law of statistical regularity. With respect to that, we are taking the second law. Second law says that results obtained from larger samples are more reliable. Okay, if the sample size is large, the result will be more accurate, reliable and precise. That is the meaning of what? Principle of inertia. Not in physics, it's over here. Now, accuracy increases when sample size increases. Error tends to cancel out in large sample. It is a direct consequence of what? Law of statistical regularity. We are taking it from the first law itself. Now, third one, principle of optimization. Principle focuses on achieving best possible result at the lowest cost. Optimization means what? We should get the best result with less amount of money. That is the basic meaning of what? Optimization. Maximum efficiency at given cost or minimum cost for a given level of efficiency. Achieved through what? A proper sampling design balances accuracy, cost and time. Where is it? Principle of optimization. Three laws. First law. What is first law? First law. Listen carefully. Yuan, what is first law? Statistical regularity. What do you mean by statistical regularity? Tell me. If according to this law, fairly a large sample should be drawn from the population. That is the basic meaning of statistical regularity. Then second law is what? A large sample will give us more accurate result. That is what? Principle of inertia. Then principle of optimization means what? Best possible result at lowest cost. That is the meaning. Then the next one is principle of validity. A sampling design is considered valid only if it allows valid estimates of population parameters, valid statistical tests. I will tell you with a simple example. Biryani is there, right? Right next to biryani, there will be raita is there. Curd is there. Okay. If a person tastes the curd and say that our curd is not good, is the biryani going to get affected? This is not the right way of testing. They should test from where? From the biryani itself. They can't judge the biryani with the side dish. That is the meaning. Look here. Validity means we should estimate from the population parameters, not from outside the population. And it is only valid under statistical test of the population, not outside the population. That is the meaning of principle of validity. Okay, only probability sampling ensures validity. Important point. Which sampling technique ensures validity. Only probability sampling ensures validity. Non-probability samplings cannot guarantee reliable conclusion. Okay. These are the summary of everything we have discussed now. Law of statistical regularity. A large random sample represents the population. Principle of inertia. Larger samples gives more reliable results. Principle of optimization. Best result at minimum cost. Principle of validity. Estimate and test must be statistically valid. We can't go outside the population for doing the test. Then one important thing is given over here. Comparison between sample survey and complete enumeration. Complete enumeration is called as what? Census. Have you heard about census?
Yes.
Yeah. Where have you heard about census? In India. The population. We will measure the number of people in the country using what? Census. Every 10 years we will do that, right? 10 or 11 years or 10 years. Yes. Now, how much is the population? 140 crores or 142 crores is the number of people in this country. Now, you think that I want to study whether this 140 crore people like biryani or not. Okay. Will I do a census on that? I will not do. I will just take like a certain set of sampling, random people from different parts of the country, and I will bring them here and I will ask the question. I will not ask for 140 crore people. Why? Why? Why are we not asking to 140 crore people? People, first of all, speed. Reason for preferring sample survey. Think about asking 140 crore people. Will it be easy? No. So it is much faster in what the sample survey. Sample survey can be conducted much faster than a census. Only a part of the population is studied instead of the entire population. Cost per unit in sample survey may be higher, but overall the cost will be less for what? Sample survey. Think about it. We are asking question to 1 lakh people. How much people we require? We require less number of people to conduct the survey. While think about conducting survey to 140 crore people. We require more people, more money, more commission, everything will be there. So the cost will be minimum for what? Sample survey, more it will be for census. Reliability, what do you think, da? Will sample survey be more reliable compared to census?
No.
Actually, it is. I will tell you the reason for that. Now think, when we are going to ask 140 crore people a question, randomly I'll select some people who will not be trained well. They will ask the question, how much kilogram you are weighing? The person said 21 pounds. They will mark what? 21 kilogram. While our sample surveyors will be trained for writing like what? 21 pounds means we should convert the pounds into kilogram and write. Okay. Likewise, they will be trained. Who will be trained? Our samplers will be trained, while complete enumerators will not be trained. So there is more error in census compared to what? Sample surveys. Then accuracy. Sample survey is subject to sampling error. Census is free from sampling error but not free from non-sampling errors, recording error, investigator bias, faulty interpretation. In sampling error, sampling error can be reduced by what? The sampling size. When the sampling size increases, error will decrease, right? So it can be compensated. Okay. Then necessity. Sample survey becomes essential in certain cases. Now think, our red boy and pink girl got married, right? They want to taste the biryani. Will they eat the entire biryani? Okay, that is not possible. That is called as what? Destructive testing. Okay, think about it. If they eat the entire biryani, there is no biryani for other people. That is not possible. In that case, sampling survey is only possible. Or testing of bulb. You are starting a company. You want to test a different brand of bulb. You are going to check that. Will you buy the entire 1000 bulbs you require and test it together? No. You will buy like 10 bulbs and test whether it is working properly or not. That is where it is more important than hypothetical population. Can we do complete enumeration in hypothetical population? Never. It is not at all there. It is only possible in what? Sample survey. Okay. Yes. These are the things, people. Then the final one, there was a question based on it, and most of the questions are theory question, other than which one are the number of samples getting selected. Other than that, everything is theory questions from this chapter. Now I will take you to the next topic, allocation of sample size. There are two types of allocation of sample size. First one is proportional allocation and the second one is Neyman's allocation. Okay, make a note of it. Proportional or Bowley's allocation. Second one is called as what? Neyman's allocation. When are we using proportional or Bowley's allocation? Used when strata variances do not differ much. That means the variance will not be differing between the stratas. Here, sample size is proportional to what? Population size. Make a note of it. Sample size is proportional to population size in which allocation? Bowley's allocation or proportional allocation. Then, when are we using Neyman's allocation? Used when strata variances differ significantly. Too much variance is there. Then we are using what? Neyman's allocation. Here, sample size depends on population size and standard deviation. So, sample size is proportional to product of population size and standard deviation of the given data or the given stratas. So, these are the things, people, from this particular chapter. Can we solve some questions? Everyone, ready? Yes. How is the chapter? You understood things, right? But you will understand everything with solving questions. So, solve more question. I'll give you more question. And from the previous year, whatever they have asked for examination was from your ICA material itself. I'll use ICA material itself for solving question from this. Okay. 1 second. I'll just take it up. And also I'm telling you, read this entire material. It is very, very important in order to read it from chapter 13. Please read it. Yes. Silence and smile are two powerful root tools. Smile to solve the problem and silence to avoid problem. Which movie is that? The Mangate? KG. Oh, okay. Ah, Tanit really said in some Mari. Yeah. Violence. I don't like it. But violence likes me. I can't avoid it.
Yes. You are actually not violent.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Even I have friends like that. Yes. Can we start, people? What do you think? People? The first question. Read the question and tell me the reasoning also. Sampling can be determined as a statistical procedure. Practice. I don't like practice, but hey. Even if you don't like, you should practice. Sampling can be described as a statistical procedure to infer about unknown universe from a knowledge of any sample. Is that correct? To infer about non-universe. Will we discuss about non-universe, people? Do we want to know about non-universe? No, that is wrong. Then, to infer about unknown universe from a knowledge of a random sample drawn from it. Are we drawing any sample? No, we are drawing what sample? A random sample. So, answer is what? Option C is the answer. If you read the first line of the book, this question is there. Whatever is given in the first line itself is this question. Next one, people. Sorry. Law of statistical regularity says that. Tell me which option is the right answer. Law of statistical regularity says what? Statistical regularity. Hey, come on, come on. Sample drawn from the population under the discussion process possess the characteristics of a population. No. A large sample drawn at random from the population would possess the characteristics of the population. That can be correct, but read the last one. Third one. A large sample drawn at random from population would possess characteristics of the population on average. So this is the moment you will keep that word on average. Will we say that all the time it will be correct? No, on an average it will be correct. That is the meaning. Okay, Sharda? On an average it can be correct. That is the meaning. Okay, yes. That word is very important, and there was a question based on this. This was a PYQ. Okay. Next one. Sampling surveys are prone to, first one sampling error, second one non-sampling error, either A or B or both A and B. Both A and B. There is sampling error. We told about sampling error. We told about what? Non-sampling error. So it can be what? Both A and D be your answer. Next one, read the question and try to tell me the answer. The timer starts now. Within 5 seconds, I require the answer. Okay, yes. Okay. Population of roses in Salt Lake City. I told you the example, right? When I see the flower, will I go and count the flower? No. How many flowers are there? How many pushpas are there? An imaginary population or infinite population or hypothetical population or a finite population? An infinite population. I will not go and count. We will not check how many flowers are there, how many mosquitoes are there. Will we sit and count? No. We might do this. After hitting one mosquito, we'll say, one mosquito, two mosquito. Other than that, do we know how many insects are there? No, it is infinite. Keep that in your mind. Next question, people. Have a look at the next question. Yes, everyone online, are you getting the why the answer is coming that way? Yes. Next one. Please get me the answer. A statistical decision about unknown universe is taken on the basis of dash is the question. Okay. Sample observation, a sampling frame, sampling survey, and a complete enumeration. Which can be the answer? A statistical decision about an unknown universe is taken on the basis of observations, right? But what observation? Sample observation. We are doing sample survey on what? The observation. Based on the units only we are going to discuss, right? That's why option A is the answer. Next one. Random sampling implies, okay, what is the answer? Why not C? Because the thing is, statistical decision about an unknown universe is taken on the basis of, actually if you ask me, if option A was not there, we will go for what? Option C. Why did we go for observations? Because we are talking about the samples. Samples have more importance than sampling survey. Okay, understood, Sharda? Next one. Yes, get me the answer for the 6th question. Random sampling implies what? Random sampling implies sampling with the same probability for each unit. Do you remember SRS? Each unit has equal importance. They have equal chance of getting selected. That is the meaning of SRS. Then a parameter is a character of what, people? Parameter is a character of population. Statistic is a character of what? Sample. Perfect, people. Next question. A statistic is what? Characteristics of a population are? No. Function of sample observation are? A function of population unit are? A part of population are? Which one we will go about, people? 8th one is what? The statistic is for what? Samples. So answer is what? Option A is your answer. Are you getting it, people? Any doubt? Any doubt? Divagar, are you understanding? Yuvan, are you understanding? Statistic. Wherever you see statistics, it is based on what? It is based on sample. Okay. Next question, people. Get me the answer. Sampling fluctuation. Okay. Sampling fluctuation may be described as what? Sampling fluctuation. Okay. Sampling means samples are involved and some fluctuation is there in the collected samples. Okay. That is mean by sampling fluctuation is described as variation in the values of statistic, variation in the values of sample, differences in the values of parameter. Now, first question, can option D be the answer? Option C be the answer?
No.
Different parameter. Parameter is nothing to deal with our sample. Variation in the values of observation, that is also to deal with what? The entire population. Now, will you go for variation in the values of statistic or will you go for variation in the values of sample? We should go for sampling fluctuation. Sampling is basically based on its parameter, correct? Parameter is based on what here? Statistic. Answer is what? Option A is your answer. Got it. Next question, people. Get me the answer. Get me the answer. 11th question. Sorry, 10th question. What's the answer for the 10th question? Yes, somebody told the answer. Sampling distribution is distribution of sampling observations, sample observation, distribution of random samples, distribution of a parameter, probability distribution of a statistic. So sampling distribution will always be deal with the parameter. People remember that whatever they ask, if option is having the word statistic with respect to sampling, you will go for that option. Remember that. That is the shortcut way of remembering it. Okay, if the question is based on sampling, if the option is having the parameter, you should go for the parameter itself. Parameter is what? Statistic. Next one, standard error. We got the answer, right? Tell me standard error is what? Standard error. Which question is it? 11th question. We already talked about. Yes, standard error is nothing but standard deviation of statistic. It was already given in the material. What was the formula for standard error? It is nothing but sigma divided by root n. That time I told you it is the standard deviation of the statistic. 12th question. 12th question. Get me the answer for the 12th question. A measure of precision obtained by sampling is given by standard error, sampling distribution, expectation, sampling fluctuation. People, where did we discuss about the precision with the standard error only, right? Standard error measures what? The precision, how accurate it is. I told you the word accuracy that time. Yes. Next one. Very easy question. Use the formula and tell me the answer. Tell me the answer.
Decreases.
Sample size increases, standard error decreases or increases. What is the formula? Standard error is inversely proportional to root n. Correct? Inversely proportional to root n. Now you tell me, if n value is increasing, what happens to standard error? It will decrease. If n value decreases, our standard error will what? Increase. I already told you, if the sample size is small, high chance of error. If sample size is more, a lot of sample sizes there means what? So what did I say first? If sample size is low, what? Sample size is low, high chance of error. If sample size is more, low chance of error. So answer is what? As sample size increases, standard error what? It will decrease or increases? Decreases. Now my question is, will it be option D or it will be option B? Is my question to you. Option B. Why? Because we don't know the standard deviation. It will anyway decrease as not proportionality and all. It will not go. Next question. Get me the answer. Problem which came. It is a PYQ, people. Try to get me the answer. 614 the question. You need to know the formula. If from a population 25 members with population size is how much? N is equal to how much? Capital N is equal to how much? 25. A random sample without replacement of 2 members, N is equal to how much? 2 is taken. The number of such sample is how much?
25.
How will you do it? Without replacement or with replacement? Without replacement. Without replacement means what? 25 C2. So 20 into 24 divided by 2. How much is the answer? 300 of? Yes. Without replacement, right, people? With the replacement means you can take it like n raised to n. Here it is what? N, capital N, C, N. Okay, use your logic of combination. Then you will get the answer without replacement. How it will be written? You will be writing like this. Like way you will write it and you will divide it, since it is combination, you need to divide it with what? 2. You need to arrange it. Got it? Understood? Next question. Solve it. Timer starts now, people. Get me the answer for the next question. With the replacement and without replacement, accordingly get me the answer. Yep. A population comprises. What was the formula? N power n, capital N power small n. A population comprises of 5 members. That means capital N is how much? 5. The number of possible sample is what? 2. That is power raised to 2, which is equal to how much? 20. Which is the answer? Option D is the answer. That is the 16th question. Any doubt? Doubt edavadhu irukka? Okay, doubt endengilum undo? Till here everything is fine? Yes. Can we go for the next question? Yes. In the question, write pannungo, answer kodungo, read it and get me the answer. Take your time. Never change your decision due to fear of society, because society will give you only advice, not food. Correct.
Dialogue writer.
Yeah. When we dub the movies and all from other languages, right? Yes. Get me the answer. Simple random sampling is very effective. Okay. When the population is not very large. Second one, population is not much heterogeneous. Population is partitioned to several sections. People, when are we dealing with population is divided into different sections, we will go for stratified and all. Now here, what is the main thing? Simple random sampling is only effective when the population is homogeneous, or we should go for it is not much heterogeneous. So that is a keyword. Make a note of it. SRS. It should be what? Mainly homogeneous population. I told you that time, right? When we discussed. So answer should be what? Option B. Next one. Simple random sampling is a type of what sampling is the question. Is it a direct question, people? Simple random sampling is what? What type of sampling is it? Is it a probabilistic sampling? Yes. Option A is the answer. It is not non-probabilistic. Yes, it is option A. Next one. According to Neyman's allocation in stratified sampling, sample size is proportional to population size. Sample size is proportional to sample standard deviation. It is proportional to what and what? Is proportional to sample variance. It is proportional to sample. Two answers. No, sample size is proportional to sample variance. Which answer is the answer, people? Which option is the answer? Tell me, which option is the answer? Are we talking about population? We are talking about sample size. That means you can ignore the option D. Now, in Neyman's allocation, we are dealing with proportional to what size? We are talking about it is proportional to the population size. The sample size should be proportional to population size. Do you remember? Proportional to Ni. Capital N was given in the formula. Remember that? Yeah. They would have. Yeah, there also standard deviation is there. But standard deviation of what? Is it sample standard deviation? No, it is population standard deviation. Next one. Which of the sampling provides separate estimates for population means for different segments and also an overall estimate? Also and what? Overall estimate. Get me the answer. Read it carefully. Sampling provides separate estimate for population means for different segments. Stratified sampling. There what is happening? We are converting them into different stages, not sections. Okay. In strata we are dividing them into different sections or different groups. Next one. Hey. Pesadirungo. Yes, what is happening? Manoj? Yeah, I understood. Logically, it is correct. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Next time, fight here itself. Okay. 20th question. Solve it for me. 20th question. Which sampling adds flexibility to sampling process? Which adds flexibility is the question. Okay, give me the answer. We are almost at the end. Last five questions from our subject. Get me the answer. Sampling at flexibility. Do you remember? When did we talk about... Hey, don't talk. Listen. When did we talk about flexibility? When I told you randomly people will be coming, I will decide. Right now, I will start from the fourth person. Every fourth person, I will select. Or every third person, I will select. Likewise, I will select. What type of sampling is that, people? Systematic sampling, right? It adds what? Flexibility on us. Whenever we want to select, we can select them. That type of sampling is what? Systematic sampling. 21st question. Please get me the answer, people. Which sampling is affected most if sampling frame contains undetected periodicity? Where did we yes, correct. Systematic sampling. We talked about that, right? Periodicity. That P is what? P is nothing but periodicity. I asked you, right? Sampling frame. For example, no, I'll just talk about sampling frame again. Now, our biryani was there, right? The entire biryani was there. Then, sampling frame is nothing but what is there for us to select from. Now, if the biryani is like this, the top layer is the layer first we can select, right? That is called as sampling frame. For example, the entire ArivuPro students are there. ArivuPro students are Dhanushree. Entire ArivuPro students are there. What is your AP ID? You have an AP ID, correct? Likewise, using AP ID, I am selecting a student. Using the roll number, I am choosing a student is called as what? Sampling frame. Now, what is there to select from is called as what? Sampling frame. Look here in the biryani, the top layer. I am selecting from the top layer. That is my sampling frame. Okay. Next one, people. Which sampling is subjected to discretion of sampler? Who is the sampler? Who is the sampler? Who is the sampler? Who is sampler? Who is sampler? Can you tell me who is sampler? Tiger, whoever wants to collect the sample, correct? So, it will be up to purposive sampling or judgment sampling or non-probability sampling. Next one, people, the final two questions, you should tell me the answer. Okay? It's a very interesting question. They never asked a question based on this till now. Till now, they never asked. So, there is a high chance that in the coming examination, a question will be there. Okay. How do you know it's C or D? So people, read the question again. If a random sample of size 2 with the replacement, okay, what is happening with the replacement? With the replacement means what? If I am selecting Manoj, then I will keep Manoj back again. That is called as what? With the replacement. I think you remember the biryani explanation. I think you don't want to remember it again. Yes, but you will never forget that example. With the replacement means you will take and put it back. That is called as with the replacement. Now, with the replacement, number of ways of selecting sample is how much? N raised to n, which is how much? 3 square, which is equal to how much? 9. So, population containing 3, 6 and 1. That means what is the population size? 3. 3 people are there. Then, how many samples? 2 samples. So, 3 square is equal to how much? 9 is the total ways of selection. Now, you tell me. Option A is correct? No. Option B is only having 3 ways. Either it can be option C or it can be option D. Which one will be correct?
C.
Why C? Look here, there is something called as 6-2. Is 2 part of our given data? No, that is wrong. That means option D is wrong. Only one option is correct. Which option is that? Option C is the correct answer. Understood the method? Lingesh, you got it? Why it became option C? Because in option D, what is there? 6 comma 2 is there. Actually 6 comma 2, we cannot select 2. 2 is not part of the entire sample. That means it is not possible. Only option C is possible. Repetition is possible, right? Yeah, because it is with the replacement. So I select, think. I select Manoj. Okay. Then I kept back. Then I select, that time also I got Manoj. 1.
Again repeated.
Where the?
D.
D again. Okay, fine. Yes. That also is correct. That is also correct. Go for the final question. Go for the final question, people. Now you will ask, sir, what is the importance of this chapter, sir? You will ask the question, right? When you go to intermediate, there will be a subject called as auditing. In auditing, sampling is there. It is required. Yeah, auditing. Auditing means what? We will collect the samples and check whether any errors are not there. That time you will remember, sir said like this, auditing will have sampling. Yes, that is the case. Option D. Okay, hey! The answer is here. If a random sample of 2 is taken without replacement means what? Without replacement means capital N C R. N C. It's not working. N C N. Yes.
Wrong sample.
NCN, correct. The wrong sample state. Yes. NCN without replacement. Now, people, from how many it is taken? From 4 it is taken. So 4C what? 2. 4C2 is how much? The 4 into 3 divided by 2, which is equal to 6. So option A is wrong. Option B is wrong. Either it will be option C or it will be option D. Why is it option D? You already told the answer. It is option D. Can you tell me why is it option D, not option C? Any reason for that? Without replacement. People, when I choose AB, okay, then will there be BA?
No.
There will not be BA. So if AB is there, then another possibility was AC. Then or it is AD. Similarly, BC, BD and CD. So people, remember, if you get a question in the future based on this, without replacement means if AB is selected, ABA cannot be selected. That is the reason we are not going for what? Option C. We are going for which option? Option D. Remember this. That's your chapter and that's your subject, which is quantitative aptitude. Thank you so much. The chapters are completed. Now we will have all the revision. Yes. Now, at the end of the day, we should get full marks. Yeah, then you will be like, sir, the sampling error is more. The chances of getting full marks is very rare. Yes, chances of getting full marks is very rare. But try to get more than 80 marks from quantitative aptitude. Whatever I gave, use that material. Practice again and again. Don't use, if you study from one material. For MaxPod, you used a separate material. That means you use that material itself. Study from that. Complete everything from that material. Then do the workbook. That you can do. Do that material again and again and again and again and again. Do the workbook again and again and again. Just to do that, you will pass no matter what. I have proven it. I have taken samples. I have proven it with multiple people. It is possible. So do that in foundation level. It is possible. Put the effort. It will be fruitful. Okay. Put continuous efforts. It will be fruitful and you will be happy at the end of the day. More than me, always you guys will be happier at the result day. When you come and tell me, I'll be happy for the first 10 minutes. My student passed. Then after that, I'll get another news. Another student passed. I'll go to that. Then after one day, I'll be talking about my wife, not about my students passed. Okay. Likewise. So for you guys, it will be like, Once you pass, you will be talking about tomorrow also I passed. Then next day you will pass. Then in intermediate, once you go there, I passed foundation and I came here. That will always be there with you. So remember, foundation is easy to pass. It's all about the efforts. Once you put the effort, you will pass. Never fall on the way. Many people will fall on the way thinking that I will not put efforts today. Don't do that. Put the efforts regularly. It will be fruitful. Okay. Always think when people are continuously putting effort, it will happen one or the other day. Okay. Remember that always and do that in your life. You will be happy in your life with that. Okay. Thank you so much. The chapter is out. Yeah. Yes.